All right, so have you heard of Edward Blum? Maybe the name isn't ringing a bell, but I'm sure you're familiar with some of his work. Despite not being a lawyer, Blum has been behind some of the most high-profile Supreme Court cases of the last decade, including what seems like his one-man mission to end affirmative action in the United States as we know it.
Here's my great hope. My great hope is that the opinion that comes out of these two cases provides this country with a legal doctrine, a doctrine that can be applied to the area of employment, can be applied to fellowships and scholarships, can be applied to voting issues and contracting issues. That doctrine will be the beginning of the restoration of the great colorblind covenant.
Killing affirmative action was not enough for the conservatives that have sought to destroy race-based affirmative action. As we know, the United States Supreme Court did do away with race-based affirmative action, but here we go again. The mastermind behind that destruction is at it. According to an article in The Root, the headline says it all. Killing affirmative action wasn't enough. Now conservatives are coming for Black women entrepreneurs.
It involves the Fearless Fund, which is the first venture capital fund built by women of color for women of color. According to the fund, just 0.39% of venture capital funding goes to businesses started by women of color. The Fearless Fund was founded in 2019 to help close that gap by providing funding and support to Black female founders.
But now it's facing a lawsuit by the American Alliance for Equal Rights. That's a group founded by the conservative activist who was behind the effort to end affirmative action in college admissions.
See, it's never enough for people like this who want to take us backwards in time. 75% is not enough, 80% is not enough, 90% is not enough. They always want 100%. On August the 2nd, the American Alliance for Equal Rights filed a lawsuit against a nonprofit organization. The name of that organization is the Fearless Fund. Now, the Fearless Fund was founded by 3 African American women, and the goal of this fund is to help African American women entrepreneurs be able to receive venture funds, some venture capital funds. But this dude, this alliance, and the guy that's over the alliance, he was the mastermind behind the stripping of race-based affirmative action, patting himself on the back all the way, obviously. And don't be fooled. Just because he was able to get other minority groups, other people of color to participate in the dismantling of race-based affirmative action does not make this any less not only racist, but also anti-Black. Hear me clearly when I say this. This is anti-Black racism. So, emboldened by that decision, this group, American Alliance for Equal Rights, filed a lawsuit against the Fearless Fund. Now, less than 2.2% of venture capital funding goes toward women-founded businesses of color. Less than 2.2%. But that's not enough for these folks, these people who are peddling in hate. Not enough for them. Now, in the article written in The Root, they also go on to inform us that in July, Republican attorneys general wrote letters demanding that Fortune 100 companies stop their affirmative action programs. No affirmative action, no diversity and inclusion. They want them to just cut it out altogether. And you know why? Again, because the Supreme Court of the United States of America has emboldened these fools to think that they can just go ahead and mow down the progress that we were trying to make in this country. Understand that affirmative action itself was affirming that some systemic wrongs have happened to certain groups of people in this country, and to affirmatively attempt to make it right, to correct the wrong, to make crooked paths straight. But oh no, this is not what people like this alliance, American Alliance for Equal Rights, and don't be fooled by the name. This is the American Alliance for Unequal Rights. They want to trample all over the progress that has been made in this country, and they got Black folks in their sights, and they're using other people of color to join them. It's a shame. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once admonished us that at a point in time when people stand idly by and allow evil to persist, allow wrong to just tiptoe through the tulips, that really silence is betrayal. And that is what is happening in this country when it comes to affirmative action and all the other factors involved in taking us back in time, especially when it comes to the progress made on race. As a country, we really have not gone as far as we should go and could go and must go, but that does not stop people who do not want to see progress from using efforts to create equity and equality, turning that on its head. So those of us who believe in freedom, we got to stand up and we must fight. And especially people in power. Don't sit idly by and let this kind of foolishness and folly continue. We got to push back, and I mean push back hard.